Okay.
Sorry?
You think he got scared off maybe by somebody, huh?
I'm not sure. We just dating for 1 month. It was really good, and then suddenly he texts me, "I'm sorry, I'm not ready for relationship." So
Okay.
without explanation, yeah, I don't know. Is it
Interesting.
real or is it my ex-husband
Okay. Yeah.
contacting and telling badly about me? Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible. Anyway, the first card, interestingly enough, the first card I got for you with this is Memories of Love. The number 6 is all about union and partnership and usually like happiness and stuff. But there's mixed messages right from go. Um, in the obstacle, I do have heartache and loss, and I feel that that's sort of you. You're like, what? Like, things were going good, and now, like, I'm heartbroken over this. Like, what's happening? The universe is telling you that you are going to heal from it. You have the emotional loss card next, which is all about healing. And number 5 is all about change. I feel it has rocked you a bit with your self esteem too, because you just, you really like this guy. So they want you to focus
Yeah.
on that. They want you to focus on your self esteem, like focus on the fact that you are definitely worthy of having like the best person that you should have. And the universe will make that happen, whether we in any way that they can, which usually ends up with us being heartbroken for a little while. But they are telling me that the outcome for you is a positive movement forward. Kind of gives me the impression that this guy needed to leave you for a reason. But I'm going to pull some more cards and just see if we can find out why. You're going to rebound from this a lot faster than you think. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
You really are. You're going to be pleasantly surprised by how strong you're going to get. Because a lot of those are fast moving cards. So let's just see. Just gonna cut that. All right. This should bring us some answers here, Vinny.
Yeah.
Okay, so the card that I have for him is the 5 of Wands, which is all about like sort of like conflict and debate and competition, which is making me think that possibly somebody did come in and tell him something and kind of scare him off a bit. But what's really kind of interesting is that he sees you as the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is all about motivation and standards and high standards and stuff. So yet again, he knows that you have high values and high morals, right?
Yeah.
And which, and I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm just saying that there's some sort of conflict going on with him. When he sees your relationship, he sees heartache, he sees the 3 of Swords, which is heartache, heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. So he's just as upset about it as you are. He's not happy that this is the way it happened. But if we could, something hidden about him or something that we don't know about him is the Knight of Swords, and which is all about conflict and tension, so he's conflicted. He starts off with the competition and debate, like, I'm not really quite sure. And then he's sad, but now inside he's really like, what should I do? What did I do? Should I do that? Shouldn't have did this or did this. When the future of your relationship at this point looks like it's the world, which is completion and success and rewards and all the stuff that the world will give you, but it's not going to give it to you until this relationship ends. So it's really kind of confusing. I'm really having a hard time trying to figure this out. But the lesson is the Ace of Wands. Did anything happen with him recently? Like, I know you're thinking that it's your ex-husband, but did anything happen with him, like, work-wise lately that you know of?
Sorry?
Did anything happen with him, like, work-wise? Like, did he have any trouble at work, or is he having any problems, like, with friends or family or something like that?
Maybe with the ex-wife, maybe. I'm not sure about work, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
he said there's too much going on to me at the moment. I'm not ready to relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's maybe where it's coming. So he really I think he really does like you, and I think that he's not really happy with what he had to do, but I think that there's something going on with him, and maybe it is the ex-wife. Maybe he just has to get this settled, because if I pull another card to get some information, we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is interesting because she is very strong, and she's all about the truth and being honest. And I know that that's what he wants to give you. Like, he wants to be honest and tell you the truth. He does see you as the Three of Cups, which is all about abundance and love and friendship. But when he sees your relationship, yet again, we have the Nine of Wands, which is about boundaries and support. And you just feel that, I think he's a really honorable person, but he's not able to give you what you want, and because of that, he's walked away from you. Because what's hidden about him is the Four of Swords, which is rest and recovery, and that's just like, I gotta walk away. The future of the relationship is the Six of Swords, which is him walking away, or him sort of sailing away to calmer waters. So I would say he's out of your life for now for a reason. The universe is doing this. He's not in a good place to give you what you want. I think there's more conflict than you maybe realize. So I'm really sorry to tell you that, but you know what? You are going to recover from this really quickly. So just embrace that, and I wish you all the best, Vinny. Sorry I didn't have better news, but thanks for calling.
Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bye-bye. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. Sorry I didn't have good news for Vinny, but you know what? The universe always does this for a reason, because you know what? She's meant to be with somebody absolutely wonderful that's going to match her and support her and give her everything she needs. And if this man is able to do that in the future, he will come back. That always happens. All right, have a great week, everybody. I'll be back next week.
Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Medicine for Your Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Namaste, everyone. Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. So lovely to be here again. Where I am in the world, we're in the midst of winter, or the start of winter, and it's beautiful. The weather is just beautiful here. It's cold, but it's sunny and bright. what I wanted to do today, before I came on, I thought, where can I start today? So I picked up my book, Alchemy of Awareness. Where is it? There we go. You can see it that way. There we go, which is available on my website and Amazon, I think, whatever. I don't even know where it's available to be. But Google it and you'll find it if you want. And I thought, how can we start this today? So I opened it up and went, okay, what's a message, a global, universal message for whoever's tuning in today that they might need for themselves? And I opened it up, and it's in the chapter of owning yourself and owning your life. And the declaration for it is simply this. So just take this in, receive this. Today, I embrace the new energy and align with my highest outcome. I choose to be present. And you know what? That's about the only way we can get through all the stuff that's going on right now, is to take a breath, open up to the new energy and be present. So I hope everything's going well where you are in the world amidst all the chaos that's happening and all the, toing and froing and the arguing and all the rest of it that's going on. It's not your story. That's how you own yourself. You go, you know what? That has nothing to do with me. So this is where I want to be in myself right now. I want to be at peace in myself. I just want to be at peace. I want to be open to receive everything that is for me in this life. And I really want to be in a place of gratitude. And this is what's going to help us get through some of the weird, kooky, crazy energy that's going on. I do have a caller, Liz from Staten Island. Hello, Liz. It's Raylene. How can I help or be of service or guidance for you today?
No, how you doing? Just like to get a reading, like for the day, what you foresee in the future for me and what lies out there.
Okay. Any specific thing or just a general overview?
Specifically with my husband and I.
Okay. So how long have you been with your husband?
24 years.
24 years. Well, congratulations. That's
okay.
That is some time. In this day and age where everything is instant gratification, everything's disposable, lasting that long is fantastic. So you will have, some history and some memories and some level of emotional bonding there. So let's see what we can say for Liz. So this is for Liz and her husband. Oh, hang on, I've just lost one. And this is a really interesting one. It flew out, absolutely flew out. And it is truth. This is about being truthful with yourself first.
Okay.
And then being truthful with your situation, and then being truthful with your partner. And it's always a tricky thing. I'm going to pull a couple more for you. Truth is a really interesting thing because what's true for us today may not be true for us in a week or 2 weeks or a month's time because of life experience. We learn things, we experience things, we might hear a different perspective that challenges something that we believe is true for us in this day, and then we can expand. So it's understanding what your truth is for you. And when I look at this, it's definitely heart stuff for you. There's a lot of heart stuff here. So you've got to be true to your own heart is what I'm hearing. So if you've got challenges or questions or issues going on, you've got to sit with yourself and go, okay, what is true for me with my principles, my understandings, and how I want my life to be? What is true for me around this situation? And no one can tell you what that is. But often when people start asking me or anyone, what do you think is going on with my relationship? Straight away you know that there's something that they're uncertain about, or they're looking for either a way out, or they're looking to see if there's something going on that they don't know about. So this is all for you, is about your truth. And the truth that we need to tap into is our own knowing. So if you've got a feeling that something's not right, then you need to sit in that and look at what is it that is not feeling right here. Or if you think that there's something going on with your partner, you need to sit in that and go, what am I feeling around this? And just sit with it, not mentally overthink it, but just sit with the feeling, because if something doesn't feel right, you need to work on, why isn't it feeling right for me? What is the truth I have around this? So that's your first thing to look at. That flew out. So you need to be very truthful with yourself and your situation. If it's something's not right, it's not right. If something needs to change, it needs to change. If something is wanting, a reconnection or igniting the fires again, if that's the feeling, then you need to look at that. So I can't tell you what it is. You will know what that is because it's to do with your truth. The next one around this is awakening. Okay, this is really interesting. This is awakening. This is starting to understand yourself even more. It's opening up to a different level of yourself. So the feeling I get with this is there's something in you that's wanting a little bit more space, a little bit more spaciousness, a little bit more, I suppose another word for space would be freedom. And it's very, is that correct for you?
Is it?
I'm asking you, is that correct for you?
Yes.
Wanting a little bit more freedom. So what, if you don't mind me asking, what's your age?
60, just turned 60.
Pardon?
Just turned 60.
Okay, all right. So you're in your coming out of your second Saturn return. So what's my purpose for the next 20 odd years? So this is quite common. And it's interesting because when we're in long-term relationships, often what happens between 50 and 60, the masculine and the feminine energy start to shift. And the masculine energy is about, normally up until 50, being out in the world, making money, filling their ego, having identity, being successful. And the feminine energy is about, come home and let me take care of you. I'm creating the nest. Let me nurture you. Between the age of 50 and 60, what happens? Those energies flip. So the masculine starts to want to be at home, being taken care of. And the feminine is going, I've been doing dishes for 25 years. I want something different. I want to go and explore. I want travel. I want adventures. I want to not have to do this all the time. I don't want to have to take care of somebody. I've done all that. So it's very, very interesting when that happens. So it does take a little bit of navigation if you want to stay united. But for you, if your truth is, I just want a little bit more space or freedom to know yourself or to explore things, then you have to make that true for you. You've got to do things about it, whether you go and drop into courses, whether you start going to, meditation groups or yoga or Pilates or go bushwalking or whatever, or orienteering. It's like you've got to find things that bring up, the word I want to use for you is curiosity. You want to have a little bit more action and curiosity in life. It's like you're ready to see what else is there and what else you're capable of. So there's definitely an awakening. You're wanting something else. Is that correct?
Yes. Do you see me? Like, my main question would be, do you see me like walking away from this relationship? Right? Really?
Well,
it's tough.
You know what? I'm going to be really honest and say, nobody, it's a breakthrough. There's a breakthrough coming for you. Okay. So whether you choose to walk away or not, at the end of the day, what it means, what I'm saying here for you is you have to concentrate on what feels right for you and have the strength and the courage to say, this is what I'm doing. And what happens when we start to bring our energy back into ourselves, whoever's in our life, they will either step up or they'll step out. You don't have to make that choice if you don't want to, but there is a breakthrough coming, and I feel it's to do with you being truthful with yourself and starting to do the things that you love doing. And if that's true, if you're going to start doing that, your partner is either going to realise you're stepping away from him, or they might decide that they don't want to live like that. So it's more about you being strong in yourself and going, I have to do what's right for me, because whatever time I have left between now and when I'm going to be very Australian here, fall off the perch, it's about you and your life and experiencing and exploring. So you can do it by yourself, you can do it with friends, you can do it with your partner, but you have to choose to do it for yourself first, and then see how life opens up around you and how things start to flow. So there is a breakthrough coming through, whether it's a change of direction, whether it's a decision that you make, whether it's something that, your partner might decide to change as well. I don't know. I can't tell you because we all have free will. And what we're thinking today can be completely different next week. So there's just a couple of things for you. I hope that's helpful for you.
Yes. Thank you very much for your
all the best, Liz. Take care of you.
Thank you. I will. I'm trying to. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You're welcome. So there we go. That's perfect reading, or a perfect question or information that goes very much with the declaration I read at the start. Today I embrace the new energy and align with my highest outcome. I choose to be present. You know, that's very powerful. So, that's one of the things, as I was saying at the start, to navigate these incredibly chaotic times. I really don't even like using that word anymore. It's like torment sometimes. There's so much going on. We really have to keep coming back to ourselves. Pause, take that deep pause, breathe into your heart. Where am I right now? What's the next best thing? What am I grateful for right now? And how can I relax my nervous system in this moment so I can receive what is coming to me, what is around me? It's that those moments where we reset ourselves, we readjust, we recalibrate, and we're grounding down because we're bringing our energy into this now moment, which is all we really have. So the more we look at steadying ourselves, grounding ourselves, calming ourselves, the easier it is to see what's going on around us without judgment, without involvement, without getting fired up, without reactivity. We can't add any more of that energy to the collective. We've got to start bringing the calm, the peace, and the steadiness in. So that's medicine for your spirit for this week. Have fun with that. And I look forward to seeing you next time. RayleneByrne.com. Come and see me. Bye for now.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Sessions with Spirit with Gene Rose. Live from Facebook.com/Tarot Readings by Gene Rose. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Sessions with Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Oh my gosh, lovelies, good evening, and welcome to the 24th episode of Sessions with Spirit. I am your host, Jean Rose. So you're going to be, of course, with me this evening. So I thank you all for taking time out of your night or day to join me. As you guys know, or maybe you're a first-time viewer, we will be taking 2 live callers during this episode, which I am so excited for. I never know what they are going to throw at me, so it is always so exciting. Also going to be pulling some cards for and well, I don't like to call it this because it sounds like you are regurgitating Google. Guys, I know I always say this, and there are probably a few people out there who are rolling their R's and be like, oh, she's not a reader, or she's not spiritual. I guarantee you I am. I am one of those readers that does not preach for us to let go of our ego, meaning it's okay to have those bad days. Now, I don't know about you, but the energy we had today, I think we all needed Jesus. It was insane. I am not here for it. It is not serving. No, thank you. I'm good. Take it back. Take it back to the chef, please. I am good. As I was saying before, and while I don't like using this word, I am going to be pulling a card for the collective, meaning just everybody, okay? I don't like using it in that spiritual tone. You know what I mean? I think it's overused. It's one of those titles or labels that's just overused. So like I said, I'm going to be pulling a couple of cards for everyone in regards to tomorrow, the upcoming weekend. Yes. So let's get started. I have one of, I'm going to say my favorite decks, but it definitely is up there. I do have my top 3, okay? This might be top 5 or 6. It's just gorgeous. The art, I was just sort of feeling today. I did happen to use it with a couple of clients today, and just seeing the art again made me fall in love with it all over again. So like I said, let's do a couple of cards for everyone. So instead of being surprised by today and the energy that we dealt with, no. Mama is going to make sure that we all are not only wearing our seatbelts, have our helmets on, are prepared in case this crap happens again tomorrow, because I don't know about you. I'm not doing it again. No, thank you. I'm good. But like I said before, sometimes we all have those days. That's one thing that I absolutely pride myself in as a reader is the fact that I always tell my clients, my followers, my lovelies, okay, people that just meet me, please do not put me on a spiritual high horse because I am a reader. I am in no way, shape, or form perfect, nor do I claim to be. Guys, that's a really hard standard to maintain. Perfection, and not for nothing, is kind of impossible to achieve. So while you're beating yourself up about the crappy day you had today, show yourself grace. Take that moment, and I told my chat this earlier before when I was talking to my beautiful Stiggies, make sure that tonight you take some sort of bath or shower. And the reason why is going to be because water is extremely cleansing. Yes, it is. So we want to wash away that negativity and the energy that we were consumed with today. Consumed with. Oh my gosh. It just seemed every time you turned around, something else went wrong. I even said to one of my friends, is there a retrograde going on or something that I don't know about? Like, what happened? Because it was just, oh my gosh, a storm of just, yeah. So hopefully the weekend will bring some brighter and lighter energy. The first card, thank gosh, for the weekend was the King of Wands. That's going to refer to success. And one of the energies that is represented by the element of fire is going to be resiliency. If I can't tell you how happy that made me feel when I saw that card drop, I don't want to say the fog will be completely lifted, but it definitely will not be as heavy as it was today. You know, we have to bounce back. Yes, I have a deck, and one of the cards is put down that crap from yesterday. It's heavy. So that's something that I challenge all of you to do tomorrow morning. Everything from today, so for tomorrow, it'll be yesterday. I want you to leave in that space. Don't carry it forward, because what we do is we make ourselves exhausted. See, when we stay stuck in those negative spaces, we think, and I don't know about you guys, but I am really good at trying to play things off. Okay? Yeah. My famous line is, it's fine. Everything is fine. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Right? But in essence, I'm just bottling up those negative emotions, ones that I need to purge. Sometimes it's okay to not be okay. And we have to know and understand that and give and show ourselves grace. What happens one day does not need to be brought into the next. It doesn't. So quit doing that and stop being so hard on yourselves. The next card, my loves, is going to be the Fool. Oh, thank you, Goddess. Oh, thank you to the gods and goddesses. Everyone up there, all of them. Buddha, Allah, Jesus, everybody. We want the universe, spirit, no matter how you refer to your higher power. Yes, the Fool is all about new energy, moving in a new and different direction. It's all about taking a new path and stepping outside your comfort zone. You see, the Fool is the first card that kicks off the major arcana in a tarot deck. So he is not yet poisoned by life's hurts. What happens? We go through something, we experience hurt, we build up walls, right? Well, the Fool has none of that because he is just starting his journey. In fact, he is so busy enjoying every step that he does not even think of the destination. The next card was that 8 of Wands. I was kind of happy this card fell reversed, and I'll tell you why. You know, upright is going to refer to dynamics. For me as a reader, one meaning that I have definitely taken on over the years is it can also refer to blocks of timing in groups of 2. So I don't feel as though it's going to be like, 2 days before it's left. No, I think it's just going to be a matter of us taking charge, not entertaining the negativity and being stuck in that space. Because remember, it's exhausting. It's not worth it. Okay. And moving forward. So tomorrow or even tonight, when you wake up, just remember today is a new day. So out with the old and definitely in with the new. All right. We're not bringing that negativity in from today. All right, loves. Let's start with our first caller. Drake, are you there, love? I am so sorry I had you waiting.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can.
I'm here.
Oh, I'm so
Okay.
glad.
Yeah,
How are
I'm
you doing
definitely here, and
tonight?
that makes a lot of sense.
Aw, thank you. How are you doing this evening? Are you doing good?
I'm doing better than I have in the past couple months, honestly.
I'm glad to hear that. That's wonderful. What are we reading on tonight?
Basically just general, honestly, trying to figure out what's been going on in the past. I've had a lot of rocky stuff going on, as you've already somewhat got to, and trying to really get to the bottom of it, and I'm trying to rebuild my life on a positive level.
I can completely understand. Let's pull a couple of cards for you, and we will see what they say.
Okay. My last girlfriend that I was with, too, I don't know, I'm going to tell you this. She says that, actually, she read cards to me, too, and they came out somewhat similar to stuff also. But I don't think she was really good for me. And she might have been a negative person, honestly.
That makes sense, especially if you are noticing that you're able to even recognize that. I mean, just
I
right
definitely
there
can. I
is,
came from a long line of people, so yes.
that is
Starting to tap
definitely,
into stuff that I've known since I've been a kid, if that makes any sense.
that makes a lot of sense, you know? But at least, like I said, definitely that's a moment, that's an accomplishment. Because I feel like in the past, you might not have necessarily voiced that. So you might have
Not
felt
at
it or
all.
thought
You're
it in the
right.
back. Yes, you were one that would sweep the issues and problems under the carpet, maybe even doing that during the relationship because you didn't want to stir up waves. Yeah. Your first card was the Two of Pentacles. You're finally starting to find that balance. See, the Pentacles suit not only represents money and material things, but it also corresponds to the element of earth. Therefore, it is going to signify energies such as feeling grounded, feeling stable, and also ultimately having that balance or that solid footing under your feet. Yes. So that is a good sign. Yeah. I think there are still a few areas that you could work on. But am I concerned in any way, shape, or form? No, because I think you're on it. You are very big. And I want to say, I don't feel like you've always been this way. And I don't mean that as a dig. Instead, I am pointing it out so you recognize your own progress. You know, that is going to be
hard to understand that I had gifts back when I was younger, honestly, and I always have. And I honestly feel that like family kind of stopped that because there's a big family void going on right now, and I'm trying to figure out the right way to deal with that the correct way instead of the bad way.
Yeah, and that makes complete sense. Your next card was the Hangman. That card is going to be all about a situation where you feel like it is in limbo, but I also want to feel like you feeling like your hands are tied, if that makes sense. Like a damned if you do.
Yes, that's very much true.
Yes, or damned if you don't type of situation. That is through no fault of your own. I feel like it is through others that you are being made to feel that way. Whatever, because I feel like someone's pushing up against me. For me, that was going to symbolize like someone pushing maybe even at your boundaries, trying to stretch them and see how far you will allow them to push. The third card was the Ten of Pentacles. I feel as though at the end of the day, you are going to not only come out on top, but you're going to gain even more solid footing because you're going to prove to yourself, no matter what the situation is, you can handle it. You know, and I think
I've
even
always
after
done
that,
I've been through, honestly, hell and back. No joke. I mean, I've flatlined 3 times. I've been on death's door, and I've somehow still seem to be here. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like I said, and I feel like there's going to be even, dare I say, a third round of lessons for you. I just want to not scare you, but kind of forewarn. I feel like you already know.
I'm honest.
Drake, you know everything I am telling you. Yes, literally, I feel like I'm just giving you confirmation of stuff that you already know.
You're very much correct. That's what's crazy.
Oh, love, I'm so glad I'm able to do that for you. Oh, yes, that's so important to me. You know, that is the one part about my job that I absolutely adore. You know, and that is validating people's progress and cheering them on from the sidelines. Please, please, you are going to see.
Because I'm just getting used to this. I don't know anything about it, and I'm just, if that makes any sense, I'm trying to do it correct.
Yes, absolutely. I think with the way you are doing things in the direction you're moving, you are going to be moving in the right direction. So things are all going to work out in their own time. Like I said, you got one more round after this. So just remember to stay slow and steady wins the race. I just heard that from my God. Slow and steady.
I get it.
Don't try to build Rome in one day. It's not going to be worth it.
I've
You will
always
have
heard
it all
that.
in the end. We just got to get there in strides. Well, Drake, I definitely hope that this reading has helped you, my love. Oh gosh, this was so wonderful to read for you.
I very much appreciate you, and it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I understand everything that you basically put down. I'm kind of spiritual myself, and I'm tapping into my own abilities. Like, I'm not a medium. I'm not able to do all that kind of stuff, but I see stuff in dreams before it usually happens and stuff like that. So I'm starting to get, I was born with it, and I kind of forgot it when I was like close to 10 to 15, or well, actually close to 12 years old, and I completely just gave up on it or act like it wasn't there, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That makes complete sense. Sometimes we do that, and that is very normal. We'll stuff them down. I feel as though your intuition is very strong, especially for yourself. You know what you need and when you need it. The problem is you can be a little bit stubborn and you don't always listen to yourself.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. I think
I always find random crystals too, actually, and tell me if this makes any sense. I find random crystals, like I go fishing a lot. I enjoy the outdoors. I'm a water sign. So like I'm always down there. But I find amethyst, I find quartz, I find everything. And it just randomly I find them.
That is beautiful.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, that is a great sign. That I feel is the universe handing you an amethyst. That refers to healing. So you're making strides in healing yourself. Look at it like that. I got
literally like 15 rocks that I actually tried making my own totem, honestly, and it's all stuff that I've found. So, to me, it honestly made sense by doing it that way. Because the universe brought all that stuff to me, and nobody else probably would have found that. Like, it wasn't, I just picked it out of the garden. No, I was actually looking for morel mushrooms in the woods, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes total sense. I think they were put there for you. So definitely take them, make something special out of them, whether it is a totem, whatever it is that you end up doing with them.
What I'm trying to do, honestly, like I said, I'm very new to this, and I know there's a lot more to it than that. It's just, I'm 34 years old, and I'm trying to do it the right way, and I know there's people that are looking out for me. That I know for a fact.
Yes.
It's just hard to comprehend if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your grandfather is at the forefront of that line for looking out at you.
My grandfather,
so just know,
which one?
Do you have two departed? Because there's another male behind him.
He's departed? Which one, though?
You have two, both are departed, because they're standing in what I would call like concession, like one after another. So that would make sense that if they are both your grandfathers.
Both grandparents are and my dad just passed, so.
Oh, love condolences.
My dad passed last year.
I'm so sorry to hear that, love.
Right around this time, and that's been the biggest thing in my life that's hurt me. My mom basically completely went against me and kind of did some really bad stuff, and she's with a guy right now that's kind of tried to take me away from the whole family. And nobody else in our family can understand it.
Yeah. I feel like he's very jealous of you. And that's causing a stir. That's one of the reasons, that he's causing such a stir is your own role. And basically you are of more importance,
That makes,
you're the sun.
That makes 100%
you can't replace the sun. Yeah. So that's what his problem is. So try not to take it personal. Okay. And then in regards,
but how do we deal with that guy on a positive or in a positive way? Because there's been a lot of stuff that he's done that, I kind of want to go to a darker way with it. And I'm not really a dark person at all.
Drake, the best thing you can do in a situation like that is not feed negativity with negativity. You don't reward negative or bad behavior, even if it is with bad attention, because all that's going to do is feed into the situation and make it worse. Now, I know it is tempting to want to get revenge or say something back or speak your mind or call him on. I get that.
Yes, very much so.
But
Listening.
in the end, it's going to best serve you to not speak out and turn it even into a bigger mess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it very much does.
I know it's hard. It's not fun being the bigger person. It's not. It is freaking tough. It is very, very hard. But sometimes when people take that road, what you need to do and how you should act or respond is by no, I don't give bad attention. I don't. If you want to act that way, that is on you. I'm not going to reward it with attention, even if it is me coming out of my face. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to reward it because ultimately he's doing it for attention. Does that make sense?
My sister's been the one that's been doing that for a long time. That's the problem.
Yeah. I think it has many, many layers to it. Perhaps think about doing a more comprehensive reading. At the bottom of the screen, you will see my page, my business page over at Facebook. It is Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. You can shoot me a message over there, and we can definitely discuss your needs and what session would work best for you. And that way we can discuss this more in depth. And especially with your abilities and gifts, I offer workshops for that. So we can definitely have a chat about what would go and be best for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Drake, it was so wonderful to read for you tonight. Thank you again. I wish you well, and I definitely hope that you reach out to me so I can get an update and maybe we can schedule that reading. Joanna, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, love. How are you doing?
I am stressed. I'm on the struggle bus today. Looking to hop off of it soon.
Honey, we all are today.
Hoping you can help me figure out where the next stop is.
Absolutely. I apologize. I only have a few minutes left, but I will try to read the cards as fast as possible. Also, you can always reach out to me at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. That is on Facebook, or if you are on TikTok, you can find me at Mrs._Stiggy, STIGGI.
Oh, girl, I'm catching you on your coffee talk in the morning.
Yes, well, you know it. Coffee and cards. That will be tomorrow morning. On the Book of, or on Facebook. I was gonna act like I was on TikTok and say the Book of Face. Oh my God, that is hysterical. I know all my stiggies are cracking up right now. I usually say Facebook. It's Facebook, but on TikTok I said, anywho. Let's just pull some cards and see where this bus is going to stop next. I definitely understand having a bit of a hard day and the energy just being really, really overwhelmed.
Yeah, I have some inner conflict going on, that's for sure.
Yes.
Struggling in finances, about to be needing to find a house with little minimal resources, and have someone kind of emotionally torturing me, and I don't know if they are doing it on purpose or what, but
that definitely I understand that. You kind of feel like your whole world is coming crashing down. You did get the Star card. That card did fall reversed. I think right now you are at a standstill with things because you also did receive the Chariot card. That card is going to refer to kind of like that moment where you just are stuck. There is no movement forward. There is no reverse. You can't go parallel. Nothing. It is kind of like that scene in Austin Powers when he was trying to do the 3-point turn and he just kept backing up and going forward, backing up and going forward. You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean. Yes.
Yes.
And that's
The last
exactly
reading
what
you
today was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Every
last
time
reading you gave
thought
me about
something
the
was
loan
going-
coming through.
Yes. Every time you thought something was going to happen, it's like you would get thrown back. And that just kind of, it was like a yo-yo all day long, which is very, very stressful and emotionally taxing. I will throw out there before I have to go that your final card was the 6 of Cups. That card does refer to childlike joy. Watch what you say and also what you think. Basically meaning have a positive mindset. Remember, like attracts like. So if you think negative thoughts, then you're going to attract negative things. Now, I understand that not everything is as simple as that. And sometimes things are just outside of our control, and that's okay. But still, through them, we have to show the universe that we are willing to have that faith and believe that those things that we want to happen and manifest will come to fruition. I think you are on the right path. I know it was a hard day. I think it is just the overall energy, which stinks, but tomorrow's going to be a new day. That's okay. We're just going to start fresh tomorrow. Like I said, just be mindful of what you're worrying about. Worrying, as I always explain it to people, is like literally praying for something not to happen. You know what I mean? Yes, it is terrible. So, Joanna, I am so sorry. I need to cut you short. I hope you follow me, my love. It would be wonderful. And I will see you tomorrow for coffee and cards. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, love. You take care.
You too.
No problem, love. Bye-bye. Guys, I am so sorry to be in such a rush. Remember that you can find me at the bottom of your screen at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. That is on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram as well as TikTok. Just look up Tarot by Jean Rose and you will find me. Guys, this has been a lovely, lovely episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to next week. And don't forget, I am available for private sessions. You guys be well and take that shower or bath tonight. I'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Bernice Bisson, Psychic Media. Bernice Bisson, live for BerniceBissonPsychic.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Bernice Bisson, Psychic Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome to Psychic Tuesday, and I'm your guide, Bernice Bisson. We're going to start at the top with all that crazy astrology, and then we're going to get into a couple of calls, hopefully a couple. I tend to talk a lot, and we get down some rabbit holes. But I want to talk about some of the transits, literally the last few days and the next few days are pretty intense. So there's going to be reminders for all signs to just chill out. You don't have to be there right now. The world, slow it down, because we've got some pretty intense energy. It's going to impact people in different ways. I'm going to talk about that with each of the signs, but we've got a couple of squares. In fact, we've got several squares. And when a square happens, it's pressures, tensions. And Mercury and Venus, Chiron, and Mercury's kind of, so there's going to be structures around communications, difficulties in following through in actual communications. Is it AI? Is it real? Is it copyrighted? Is what being said coming from a wounded place? And then we've got Mars squaring Pluto, and it's like power struggles, conflict, confrontation, and it could be stuff that really compels you to act on something. The key words would be truth versus fantasy, collective versus individual, action versus blocks. And those are the sort of the dynamics of the overall energy. And it kind of intensifies, and it's funny, so today's June 11th, and it intensifies certainly today and over the next few days, right until that equinox on June 21st in the Northern Hemisphere, shifts that energy. And so be nice to each other, slow down, don't get too ahead of ourselves. Now, I'm going to go into each of the signs, and again, sun, moon, or rising. Rising signs, the combination of both your divine feminine, the moon, the divine masculine, the sun, and how it comes together and how you bring it forward. So you can, whichever you identify with is great. Let's start with Aries. It's going to be around friends, social circles, networks. Things could come out of the blue. You could get sudden opportunities, sudden accolades, sudden communications, and it's like, oh, I might, you can't be in 10 places at the same time. You could have sudden revelations from friends. Friends could turn lovers, friends could turn not friends, or they could give you some interesting information over the next 10 days. Taurus is sun, moon, or rising. It's going to be about hidden truths, getting inspired, things that come up to really move us in a spiritual way, epiphanies, things that could move you into a new way of looking at some hidden truths and being inspired to really make personal change, personal movement, personal changes in yourselves and how you relate to others this next week, so it's going to be some big stuff there. Then I got Geminis. This is about self-assertion, being like you literally have half the solar system gathered in your sign, and all this Mercury energy, mercurial energy is going on with the gathering of the sun and Venus and Mercury, Jupiter, all in Gemini right now. And it's really about small conversations that can go big, asserting your boundaries, Gemini, the small things that can go viral. How do you manage it after? It's putting all those things in that need, and that goes for all mutable signs as well. And so Cancerians, sun, moon, or rising, gathering your possessions, gathering your assets, sorting along what you own, what could be owed to you, what could be estates, property, values, getting things assessed, revaluing mortgages, looking at gathering up possessions, resources, balancing your, trying to bring your balance sheet into balance, your checkbook into balance, really assessing what you have and really being grateful for it, because you could be called to pitch in. Again, this is all energy around us versus them, or the greater good versus my own needs. And so being really mindful about that. Leo, communications, how you're communicating, how you're coming across, how you're bringing information forward, how you're receiving information too is going to be a big one for you. And it could be anything. And if you work in communications in any way, this could be some restructures, unexpected changes, power struggles, asserting your truths, really seeing where you move forward in this area there, Leos, how communications work and how I'll maybe draw the line in the sand about maybe being everyone's therapist. Maybe this is part of it, because part of it is like this chironic, we're all having that chironic wound and really having to address it and deal with it. And so for you guys, it's in your communications, how you therapy and counsel people around you, and needing that energy for yourself, possibly. Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, home, family, you know, as much as you want, you're like, oh, I need to make money. I need to do this. You also need to pay attention to home, family obligations. That could be people who live away, people who live not in your home necessarily, but people that you feel obligated to, or people that you're needing to be attentive to, and possibly having to travel, having to look at picking dates to travel, picking dates to go places. So Virgo, and then meanwhile, your whole, you know, mind is like, oh, I got to have work, I have obligations here. So you could be pulled in two different directions there over the next, 10 days. Libras, God, create, date, mate. It's like love fest. Don't go down any third party things. Don't rabbit holes. Don't stay true to what you need out of relationship. You could be in a place where you're attracting a lot. You could have sudden revelations, things that come out of the blue, right around who mates are, who you're dating, what you're creating, who you've been creating things with. Really getting a reality check. And if you're in the throes of a new romantic relationship, you could get a bit of a reality check. Or in relationships as a whole, getting some reality check there. And what does that mean for you in terms of how you're relating to things? And I feel like all of this energy for all signs is really about coming to realization, revelations. You can't go backwards, got to move forward. You got to move things in a new way. So it could be very revolutionary. Scorpio, it's around what you're in service to, your health, your routines, your day-to-day, how you get to work, how you get home, what you do when you get home, how you're taking care of yourself, and you could become very rigid in that. You could be, and if something's knocking you off your routine, boy, you're going to get annoyed. You're going to feel so annoyed, because I feel like you're going to have to maybe give up something in your routine to accommodate others around you. And that could give up your space. Somebody might need to stay with you. You might have to accommodate others' needs and make room for that in your life in some way. There are Scorps. Sagittarians, partners, marriages, commitments, really what's going on for you. And that could be past, present, future. It becomes sort of that unexpected element ruled by those squares I talked about, and maybe having to pivot. Maybe there's something that comes up in your in-laws, partnership, things you've committed to that require your absolute attention, having to make decisions between what's your own needs and what's the greater good, what's fantasy, what's truth, what's blocks and what's action, where can you take action and where do you have to stand still. So those could be some big stuff for you Sagittarians. Capricorns, sun, moon, rising, we've got money, feeling renewals, and how you make your money, your how your earnings look, how that money is being generated in your life, opportunities, business, all those things come to offers, opportunities, also pivots, redirections, and reconstruction. I think of in Winnipeg, this time of year is construction season. We all groan when we think of that, because even if your greatest intent was to so be there on time, you got to tack on 20 minutes to everything. That's the energy this week. So just know that, okay? And that any bumps in that money, you could have to sort it out. You could have to follow a process to go and reclaim something. Sorry, Capricorns, it feels like, and doesn't mean you won't get what you need in the end. It's just, it's a pretty delicate balance. It could cause some power struggles around you. And then we get into Aquarian, and it's around travel and philosophy, wanting to travel, wanting to break free, wanting to get out of your routine, and you could have opportunities to go, considerations to make around going. You could have things that pop up for you around having to attend to travel, even though you might have demands at work or at home. And so, so there's a lot, and really, if you accept this need to move in some way, need to take action, need to travel, or have unexpected moves showing up for you. Rentals mostly. I don't feel the long-term energy there. And then Pisces, it's around career and reputation, and maybe just feeling frustrated or feeling kind of stuck in areas there, and feeling like you need bigger changes, you need new opportunities. You might be really thinking about, and you might be really trying to identify areas how you're communicating, especially if you're in anything that could be in sales. Sales or client-based or client-driven, are some big things for you guys. And so just, you can have things that come out of the blue. And again, we always assume the power struggles don't, they could be negative. And sometimes those harsh or those truths happen for sure. But I also feel like there could be some really unexpected good things that require action right away. There are some really unexpected good news that requires you to move in some way. And I just feel like for all signs that this is going to come up in the next 10 days, and it could be pivoting in different ways for you. And so you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. You can also find my Facebook page at Bernice Bisson Psychic. I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but I do post a video every week, inclusive of this video. I do post a collective reading, something totally different than what we're doing here. And my readings are normally an hour long. I combine psychic and medium work together. I don't really separate too much there. And I read all kinds of things. I like to read palms and cards and tea leaves and all kinds of stuff. So, and I do video read and in person. Okay, so let's get to it. I have Jamie in Port Huron, Michigan. Jamie, how can I be of service to you today?
Hi. So I just have more of a spiritual guided reading I would like. I have some questions I just have a lot going on.
Okay. Oh, well, yes. Okay. So let's begin with just the day and month of your birthday, Jamie.
September 25th.
September 25th, 25?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Let's explore that a little bit. So there's a couple of things that have come to mind. There's going to be some decisions around your work and having to pivot and being called to make changes, to find balance. And I feel like, it could be even obligations, like trying to find balance between home and work, or obligations and family and work, or your own direction in some way is going to be an important piece. There's going to be some important stuff around having to deal with a challenging male energy. And this male energy, as much as you might want to help, you might want to intervene, you might want to, I feel like they won't listen, they won't accept. It could be some power struggles there a little bit with a male, a divine masculine right around you. There is going to be some plans that are going to maybe overwhelm you a little bit. Like they could come at you fast and furious. There could be in the next, maybe even come August, some need for you to, for instance, events being put on like weddings or special events, things where you're at the, last minute having to help, having to show up and be part of, or getting last minute invitations. So there's something important about that as well. When I think about Lake Huron, Michigan area. I also feel like there is going to be an unexpected move or an unexpected, let me correct myself. I feel like there's some unexpected travel or travel that's going to be bigger than was anticipated. It's going to bring people to the west. West of you would lead me to the West Coast, to the Pacific Ocean, the West Coast. And I feel like there could be even news within 7 months around that, 7 months, 2 years. So it doesn't feel imminent, it feels within months. And there's something important about that and the timing of it. I feel like September, very particularly, is going to pull you in a couple of directions. Okay? Like, you really want to move to go, or you really want to go, but I don't know. I feel like there's the health of someone that's going to show up, or your obligations to the care of this person, even if they're not accepting the help, even if they're not. So it feels like it's going to show up around you, particularly, and I want to, Spirit keeps wanting to bring me back to this past March. Because when I think about my lovely little Libra, March, April, could have already started to present challenges to where things are going. And I feel like your birthday coming this October is almost like there is more definitive decisions, there's more definitive action. But August to October is going to require decisions, action, people's unexpected moves, something around having to deal with houses, having to deal with, I don't know that I even mean yours where you live. It could also be inclusive of family around you. Okay. I do think there is some lovely news where there might have been, and it's so funny because I don't know, I just keep thinking of your dad for some reason in my head. And you and some, like a group of 3 of you, or there's like these 3, I don't know, I want to talk about some girls somewhere. But I feel like there's going to be the move of some, I'm gonna say you're gonna get sandwiched by a couple of moves, like a young person and an older person, both of them sort of bookending this next year to 18 months. I feel like there's also going to be some discussion of news about, I'm going to just say it. I'm going to make a prediction, Jamie. I'm going to predict that, I don't know, there's going to be the birth of a boy if he wasn't recently, if he didn't recently arrive. There's something about news coming about this. And I feel like if I think about your dad, I think about someone's kid having a baby, and it's a boy, and it's a gift, and it's good news. It feels like very tremendous news. The last piece, I feel like I want to just sort of maybe give to you before I stop talking is there's something really important about money getting sorted out. And I feel like for you to move forward, or for you to get things moving forward, there's going to be documents, papers, things around money that are going to be really, once these papers are sort of either signed, sealed, delivered, I guess I have that song in my head, that you're going to be able to really move forward. But I get the sense more so that more action will show up in October, closer to your birthday. Okay, closer to your birthday. Okay. I do think that you'll have time off work. You'll be off, and then you'll return. or you'll have a break, and then there's a return. And I don't know that it's that you just get holidays. I mean, I understand what people do, but it could be weeks, couple months.
A couple months off of work.
Yeah, like, may I ask you a question, Jamie? Do you mind if I?
Yeah.
Do you have like a bunch of holidays saved up?
I have some vacation time remaining, but not much.
I feel like I'm going to kind of stick to what my gut is telling me. I feel like before November, there's like you have a break from work and then a return to work. And I would say that the number in my head is around 5 weeks or 5. I don't. So I wish I could be more specific, but it keeps showing up with some time off and a return to work, and you're not losing a job. You're not getting fired. But there seems to be a break and then a return. Okay. I almost feel like there's going to be something that shows up around that could be the care of people. That could be you're taking some time to pay attention to family. You're going to take some time to pay attention to demands at home, demands in family, demands. And there's something about that, or you might be working like you could just be on I need 2 extra weeks because I'm taking care of something. I don't know that it's going to be a surprise. I feel like it's, if I may, if I think about where you live, I think about family that could be within a couple hours of you. People, may I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Do you have 2 places now? Like, do you have where you live and then maybe something at the water?
Kinda, yeah. So I actually have where I live, and then my mother's home, which is very close to me, which is the house I grew up in, is close to the water. It's on the beach.
I feel like maybe your mom wants you there. Maybe you're going to be taking time to go there and back. I don't know. I know you're mentioning moms, but I keep having your dad in my head. I don't know what that's about, but, and I feel like there's going to be, I'm going to just take the rest of the show with you only because I only have a few minutes left. And I want to just, I'm going to give you some room for some questions just to put that in your mind for a minute. Okay. I just want to finish with, near your mom, where she is at the water, is there a brother figure, another man?
Yes, I have a brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he listen?
No, but he recently moved out, and but him and I both still go to my mother's quite often.
Okay. Because I keep feeling like that when I think of power struggles, and when I think about, it could show up there. Just put I don't know, something about that showing up a little bit. And then it's interesting because I think about the brother, but I also think about there's like a little trio of you. There's one other person that, and I feel like August of this summer is going to be really important. People are all together. There's a lady who's close to your mom. Yes, you are. But another lady, could be like a sister figure. I don't know, like her family. There's another lady who's really close to her, who's really, I don't know, there's something important about August. And I'm going to say it could show up mid-August, beginning of August, some people coming together. That could be out at the lake with your family. I feel like is a nice, something really nice about that. Now, what question can I answer for you? You said general. Where would you like me to focus a little bit? I got a couple of minutes. Where would you like? I have 2 minutes. Where would you like me to focus?
So with so is there the move, and like I know they're very like general, like they couldn't be referring to anything, but like with the time off of work and tying in, do you see any decisions in my career that are coming up that or opportunities that maybe I should take or not take?
That could be like you could. The reason you'd be off would be to change roles. Again, you're not getting fired, so if that's a choice you'd be making, I would accept that. I would feel though you wouldn't be making a complete career change. You could change companies or how you're delivering your work. And I feel like follow the money. But you're going to have a break, and that if that's like, oh, I got this new job, I'm going to leave this job, but I'm going to take 2 weeks extra, or take time. I would feel like that. And again, there's something really powerful between August and October, November, when this shows up. And so if I think about the move, not to be general, but I'll be specific, I almost feel it's funny because maybe they want you out there too, or maybe there could be moves of family. And I just feel like all tied together to you and decisions you're going to have to make in the next little while as well. I do think money is going to be a driving factor for you. Whatever this opportunity is comes with better money. And that's the paycheck to paycheck kind of money. The kind of money that you would see on a paycheck. And there's something important about that, or it could lead to management role or something where you're able to have some movement. So I get good vibes from the whole thing. I don't feel negative
So it's like
about
a
it.
positive feeling.
Yeah, you're going to be just fine.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for the Hallie Elise Show with Hallie Elise. Hallie Elise. Live from HallieElise.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147 or online and contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Hallie Elise Show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. As always, I am delighted and excited to be here this evening. So funny. We live in such a weird world. I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, and normally it's sunny. People come from other places to be here to enjoy warm weather. Not in rainy season. However, rainy season has descended upon us early. We have flooding in places we shouldn't have flooding, not flooding. My poor mom got stuck and had to be rescued. Can you imagine? But we just never know. Matter of fact, if I go back many years, back to around 1999, the home that I was in was flooded so badly that it compromised the foundation and we had to leave. However, thankfully, I actually listened to my own inner guidance and higher guidance when it's given. The night before it all happened, I heard, get the kid, get the animals, get out. And I thought, what? What are you talking about? However, even though I had questioned it, I called up a friend who lived about 45 minutes north and said, hi, do you mind if we all come crash at your place? And she, of course, said, sure, come on, not a problem. Good thing, because had we not left, we would not have been able to get out. And I am not exaggerating when I say that I went back and the water was thigh high. Can you imagine? Thigh high water. When it finally decided to recede, it was just a very interesting experience. FEMA had to come in to evaluate my place. It was pretty wild. What can I tell you? Life happens. The point is, you just never know what to expect, even when you know what to expect. Meaning, you can have a reading and think, wow, this is awesome. However, in the midst of something, you can change your mind, or in the midst of something happens on the other side of the world that at that exact second influences you. This is why I always push, pay attention to your intuition as well. It is not just guidance from other people, but it's listening to yourself. And if you need help with that, it's one of my favorite things to do, to teach you, to assist, to help. All that said, I know we have Nell on the line, and I will be with her in just a moment. She's calling from Tennessee, but I do want to remember our sponsor. That's George Duback. He is the ultimate networker. And if you are connecting with us on Facebook, do look up George Duback, and that's D-U-B-E-C. He is also a phenomenal author. And if you are on Amazon, you can find a plethora of his books. But it'd be great if you connect with him on Facebook. He has connections all over, not just limited to Florida. Something else I'd like to share, which is really cool. I have a lovely friend who owns the Love and Healing Center. Yeah, Love and Healing. What a great name, right? That's in Delray, Florida. It's on the corner of Congress and Atlantic Avenue. And that is if I recall correctly, the southwest corner. Great little place to be in. She has this wonderful new system that is connected to a quantum scalar wavebed. So it is a vibro acoustic, let me see if I remember all this correctly, vibro acoustic sound quantum scalar wavebed. And if you're like, what on earth is all of that? Truly, if you are in Delray Beach, or Palm Beach County or Broward County, it's not that far, you'd like to experience it. You actually are immersed in beautiful wavelengths that create a sense of peace, a sense of equilibrium, a sense of loveliness inside. And the bed, and I am going to call it a bed, versus one of those hard things that you get a massage on, the table. This is fabulous. It's cushy and yet supportive. It kind of comes up, it comes down. It's a fabulous experience. Take a look at Love and Healing Energy. She does have a presence on Facebook. You can find her, again, at the southwest corner of Congress and Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. And tell Michelle Hallie said hi, because I don't get over there very often. Today was an exception. All right, then we have, I believe, lovely Belle from, oh my gosh, Tennessee. Yes? Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I think we have a little delay as we're talking. Did you have a particular area of focus for this evening, or did you want me to just share whatever comes through?
Yeah, whatever comes through would be great, please. My highest and greatest good. I would appreciate that.
Okay, you got it. I love your accent, by the way.
Thank you.
One of the things that comes in right off the bat is you yourself are very connected. You could actually give me a reading, though I don't think you have enough confidence all the time to be able to sit with people and just give information. But you definitely are tapped in. And oftentimes it keeps you out of trouble or keeps other people out of trouble. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. The one area that you don't always pay attention to that you probably should listen to a little more is matters of the heart.
Okay.
You are drawn to somebody because there's that intuitive nudge that brings you together with someone, whether it is that long-term relationship or it is just bringing somebody into your heart, like a best pal or best friend. However, sometimes because that intuitive nudge is so strong and you feel such a connection, the red flags that go up, you don't pay attention to. Now, the irony here is if you were seeing this happen for somebody you loved, right away you would recognize it and say, hey, did you notice this? Or you need to pay attention a little bit more to that. That said, I will just say to you, in this moment in time, there's a couple of things that need to be adjusted. If you allow yourself to ask, not me, but yourself, what do I need to do to really have the best relationships around me right now? You will get an immediate answer because I feel like you're being pushed from the divine to tap in even more, enabling you to listen more frequently. And I want to say automatically, because I feel like it comes in spurts for you. And you do hear it and you do pay attention. And a lot of times you are just on automatic, not really paying attention to the fact that it's intuitive, but you just kind of follow it. Specifically in this time frame, we're in June. So June, July, August, I'm going to say entire summer, there is this sense of really paying attention to the loves in your life. So those are the people that you love. It's not just limited to romance, even though I started out with romance. Is in respect to romance specifically, I do get the feel that there's a couple of things that are about ready to get shaken up. And over the course of the summer, you'll find that there's a lot that is revealed to you. And when I say that, I know that sounds kind of cryptic and kind of abstract and really very general, and I apologize. However, I feel like it has more to do with the integrity of the person that you're dealing with than it is about like, oh, there's this dark secret somewhere. That's not what this is. It really is more about who they are and their integrity. And I feel it's going to be a wow. And I don't get it being a negative, but I do feel like it's something that you're going to say, why didn't I know this before? That said, just kind of pay attention because it does feel as if this is something that you are going to be grateful that you know. During this time, though, around you, again, loves meaning family, people that you care for deeply. And sometimes we just love people that are around us, even though we're not really attached to them. And that could be somebody as simple as that great gal that you meet at the grocery store who's always smiling and always lovely. Pay attention because this summer specifically, you are going to see much more than you have ever seen. I just got light bulbs going on for you all over the place. And when you're spending time with someone, you are going to find that you seem to know more than you think you should. Understand it's not a matter of that you should or should not. It's more a matter of it's the right time. You follow?
Yes, that makes so much sense. Thank you.
Okay, I'm so grateful that it makes sense because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope the message is getting through. So it's really good.
Yes, it really did.
Okay, and I'm going to switch gears here for a moment and say, really be mindful of legs. I feel like above the knees, so it's not quite into the thigh, but just a little bit above the knee. Let's see, 1-2 inches above, and going down to about middle of the shin or middle of the calf, shin, middle of the, yes. Sorry, I'm trying to isolate this area. So it's not as far down as the ankle, not as far up as the thigh, but I'm going to say a little above your knee and down to about middle of shin. There's something going on there energetically, something going on there as far as circulatory. I would take a look at your actual circulatory system, meaning perhaps when you go to your regular checkup, you ask them to do a stress test. I know that sounds off the wall because I don't feel as if you've had anything to worry about, but I feel like I'm getting this so that it's preventative for you. Either that or really examine your diet right now because it feels like something needs to be tweaked so that you can avoid a problem. The other thing that you could do if you're open to it is start massaging your legs from above the ankles and moving all the way up to where the thigh hits the hip. So it runs the gamut of the leg. It feels like that could be helpful, but you want to massage going from bottom up versus top down. And you want to be very gentle. Think of like almost a brushing type of feel, where you're moving very gently up the leg. Again, I feel like something going on there that this could be preventative in the long run. Hopefully this is helpful to you because my heart tells me it's something to pay attention to, not something to worry about, but to pay attention to.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions by any chance?
I don't think so.
Okay. So thank you so much for calling. We actually have another gal on the phone. And again, I hope this is helpful to you, hon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You as well. Bye-bye. Now, if I read that correctly, that was Lisa from Saskatchewan. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. I always wonder because I was like, ugh, it's stuck on my tongue. There's certain names that roll off very easy and others, if you're not familiar with them, not so much.
Yeah.
Did you have a specific question or area of focus, Lisa, or did you want me to just kind of share whatever it is that kind of pops up here?
I lost my little dog.
Oh.
And I feel she's still alive, but I don't know where she could possibly be.
Okay, so what pops up immediately is that somebody took her into their house. And even if you have ID on her, it feels as if they like her. And I would be hard pushed to say that they will try to seek you out, which is very troubling because, when you find a pup, the best thing you can do is put the word out there. But I feel like she is okay. I do feel that, like you, that she's still with us, but I feel like she is in somebody's house. Now, as far as where, I keep seeing in my mind's eye a steeple. Is there a church nearby that has a very tall steeple? I don't mean like 6 foot above the church, but I mean exceptionally tall that you know of?
Yes.
Okay. It is around that area. So like if I were facing the church, the feeling is, I'm getting chills. Okay, so I know I'm on target here. If I were facing the church, I would think in terms of walking towards the right. So whatever the community is towards the right and the back of the church, and it may not be directly behind it, but maybe there's a street there and then there's a community, but it feels like it's in that area. That's where your little child is, or your four-legged child. Now, if you go knocking on doors, it might be helpful because, again, I feel like the people that have your little one would like to keep it. However, if you show up on somebody's doorstep, oftentimes they'll feel bad and they'll say, we're terribly sorry. We didn't know. I hear somebody else barking.
Yeah, I have a few little dogs. That's crazy.
Pardon? I'm sorry, Lisa.
I'm like kind of blown away because I live in a very small community, and it's very well known that I lost my dog.
Okay, but I found this to be true for myself many years ago. I had a kitty who started out as an outdoor kitty, but then became mine, right? And everybody knew that she was mine. And yet other people would take her into their house and feed her and let her stay overnight. And I would go out of my mind looking for her. Like, well, where could she possibly be? And like you, everybody kind of knew she was my kitty. Now, thankfully, she ended up being 19 years old with me and she moved with me. However, I did what I'm suggesting to you, which is to knock on some doors. I don't get that somebody's doing this out of meanness. I feel like they're doing it because they just find there's so much joy with this pup. I'm not saying that's a good excuse. I'm just simply saying sometimes people don't think beyond the moment. I don't get maliceness. I really don't. I just get, again, there's joy connected to your pup being around them and them wanting to keep your pup. So if you're inclined to knock at some doors or get a couple of friends to go with you and wander around in that area, you should find your pup.
Would it be out of town? Like, because I have looked, we have searched like everywhere. And I went to a neighbor's farm and I asked the wife if I could take a look around and she said yes. And then when he came home from work, he told me to very unkindly get off his property. And from the farm, you can see the church.
Say that again about the farm did you say it was right near the church?
No, you can see the church people from the farm.
Gotcha. So let's say the farm is here. I don't know, hopefully you can see me. And the church is here. Go behind the church. Whatever is in that area. There's some land and then there is a home behind, or there's a couple of homes in the area back there. But I just feel like, again, if you were facing the church, you would go around to the right and to the back. It's worth taking a ride and, again, knocking at some doors.
Right.
On a good note, I don't get your baby hurt, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you have to go through this. I'm an animal advocate and I make myself bananas when it comes to animals being kept from their owners or taken. And there's a lot of that. I mean, truly there is. And it's not, again, most of the time out of meanness. And most of the time it's because somebody's lonely or because in that moment, again, there's joy that's there. I'm not saying there's not the exception, because of course there is. There's people who are just not nice. I'm not getting that impression with the person or persons that have your dog.
Wow, that is not at all what I was expecting.
I'm sorry. And you know what else you could do? You could start putting flyers near the church. Because in most likelihood, since it's not far from the church, people would either go by the church or attend church. And that might be an easier way to have your pup come home. Maybe even have, whether it's a pastor or minister, whoever is officiating the church, maybe have them say something during services.
Right.
Think in terms of making it as easy as possible for you to share information.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wish I had more to give you than that, but that's what came up immediately. Like I said, I just saw this very tall steeple in my mind's eye there. And I felt like that's going to be where the pup is, not actually at the church, but again, the area in the back and to the right. And just so you know, one other thing here, and that is I get birds around you. Now, I don't know if you have birds right now, but I get birds around you. So don't be surprised if in the near future you end up with a couple of birds that you're looking after as well. Usually when that pops up, it's like for people who wouldn't necessarily go and get the animals themselves, but somehow end up for them. I will say also, the pup who keeps barking, make sure you keep an eye on, what is it? It's the right hind leg. Get a little sensitivity there.
Oh,
not anything major, but just it's more like jumping and not paying attention to where they're jumping at. And it feels like it's not the knee or the ankle part, but higher up in almost like where the buttocks is, that there's a little sensitivity. So you may even notice, like if you're petting, if they flinch or they move a little different than normal, it's not anything to be concerned about. It's just they jumped funny.
Okay.
And if you're not already doing it, you might want to consider giving your pups a little bit of coconut oil or a very little bit of olive oil. It feels like it could help with joint health.
Okay. I used to do it. I don't do it anymore, though.
Okay. It might be something to get back to. I'm just getting the need for a little more flexibility. And it's simple enough to do.
And do I have my sister around me?
The feel here is she's not with you all the time, meaning I don't get her 24/7 hanging out. I feel like it's more once in a while checking in, like moving a drape back to take a peek and see how things are going. It's a short visit that I get. I will tell you, though, if you want to communicate with your sister, it's really not that difficult. You can do it through dream time or you can do it through meditation. When it comes to dream time, before you go to bed, you just ask that you are guided to connect with her during dreams. And if you do it through meditation, you go into meditation with the intention of seeing your sister and having a conversation with her. And you intend to do it in the most easiest of ways. For instance, if she used to love being on the water, then perhaps you see yourself on a raft and there's a raft that floats next to you and there she is. If it's a matter of a beautiful wooded area, then you envision yourself walking through a wooded area. But you create a space that has to do with welcoming her in for a conversation. Okay. And just so you know, I get another female around you that peeks in as well. Okay. So I get two that look in on you and check to see how you are. All right, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, and good luck with getting your babe back.
All right, thank you so much.
Church. Okay, have a lovely evening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. It's really interesting when it comes to animals. We kind of think that if our dog or a cat or bird gets out, that somebody's going to do their due diligence and really look around and talk to people, make sure that the animal gets back to where it belongs. However, I will never forget, we had a next door neighbor. I was about 14, 15. He had this great dog. Dog was so fun. The dog ran off because it saw another dog and they couldn't keep up with it. It had gotten off the leash. It was a whole to-do. They were at a park. They thought it was a safe place. Next thing you know, their dog is gone. They get a phone call later that evening saying, we found your dog. We're just calling to let you know we're keeping it. Wow. How do you do that? I could see calling saying, you have a great dog here. If you don't want your dog, I'd love to take care of it. I'd love to have it, right? Or when they come to get their dog, you ask, may I visit with the animal? You've got a great animal here, but I'm going to call somebody and say, you've got a great dog and I'm keeping it. Never. Oh my gosh, never. It just doesn't make sense how you can hurt somebody like that. We live in a precarious period of time. It's interesting, when COVID began, people thought, we were going to return to normalcy. And in many ways, we have not, and we will not. The way we operate, the way we function is different. Our thinking is different. It's necessary for us to adapt. And the best way to adapt is to use this. Really and truly, use your intuitive mind. Allow information to come through. Start paying attention because it can help you in your business and it can help you in your relationships and it can help you pretty much with everything. If you knew that today was the day that you were going to meet that special somebody, and you didn't plan on leaving the house, well, you might change your mind if you knew that today was that day and you needed to get out of the house. Or if you were troubled with something and things weren't going right and you got still and you just allowed information to come through, you could be assured that you were okay. Too often we look for information outside of ourselves. It's important to listen to that guidance within. That said, if I can help you, you're more than welcome to schedule an appointment. Phone number is 561-755-2166. The website is HalleyElise.com, and that's HalleyElise.com. Feel free to check it out. You'll find there's a lot of information there. Bottom line, yes, ask people that have intuitive abilities to assist. However, remember, you are the one who counts. Because no matter what the guidance is, ultimately, you make the decision. That means, do you listen or not? It means, do you listen plus you call upon your own divinity to hear more? Best thing to do really is take a few breaths each day, get quiet for a moment, and just allow yourself to be guided. You don't even have to ask questions.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Understanding Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good week. Welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. I've been getting all because it's lunchtime here, and I've been getting all morning for people to use their discernment. It just keeps coming in for people to tune in and use their discernment to judge what's going on in their life and to kind of get a bit of information on which way to go. So if that makes sense for you, take it. If not, let it go. I have, as usual, done a 3-card pull here. So it's like choose between 1, 2, or 3. If you have chosen the first card, this is this card here, and the writing on the side says the arrival. This, of course, can be the symbol of a birth, so like a baby. So if you're expecting somebody to give birth, then that message goes along with that. But the symbol of birth can also be to celebrate yourself. All right, so treat yourself, remember you're worth it, do whatever it is that makes you happy. So if that's taking yourself to a movie, going out for dinner, buying yourself a treat, whatever, but do something like that for yourself. It's also about recreating yourself like a new you. So if you're feeling like you need a change, a bit of an overhaul in your life, whether it's your appearance or something else, just a new you. It can be your looks, a project, creating something, messages from my guide is promise yourself that you will do something for yourself, and then make sure that you follow through. And more importantly, she's saying, if you don't, who will? All right, everybody is so busy looking after themselves, taking care of themselves, that we forget to do things for ourselves. Okay, so do something for yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for advice and from other people. But again, use your discernment and see who you can trust, who you can't, and just move forward in a positive way. Okay, now the second card that I got was this one, which is, it says here, the graduate. Okay, so this is like graduating from your current situation, your status in life. So if you want to move forward with something, don't be afraid to move on to like more challenging things. So that is like if you want to go for a promotion or look for a new job, like update your resume, wardrobe, whatever you need to do. It could also be that you've just graduated from something, if you've been studying or whatever. My guide is saying you've finished now, move on. And she's just showing me like the whole world, ahead of you. And she said, like, seek and you shall find. So, don't necessarily go with like the first thing that comes up for you. Have a good look at what you want to do if you can. All right. So that's with that card. The third card was this one, which is face value. All right. So this is about taking somebody at face value, and looking to see whether you can trust their actions, their words, their demeanor, those kind of things don't sort of really lie. It's also about staying true to yourself, all right? Don't destroy kind of your own value by not being honest. If you need to be honest with somebody, do it respectfully and be gentle about it. Let people speak, listen to what they have to say. Again, discernment is coming up with this card as well. I'm also being told to tell you that ask to be shown who's honest with you and who isn't. So if you're feeling like you can't trust people at the moment, ask for it to be revealed to you, whether it comes in a dream, in a conversation. You might sort of be daydreaming and you get sort of like a vision, or you might have a memory of somebody that was not very trustworthy in the past. So ask for those things to be revealed to you. How for yourself, just be honest with yourself and stay true to yourself, and just look for the signs. And my guide just said, if it looks like a rat, it's a rat. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, I believe I have Tina on the line. How are you, Tina?
Hello.
Hello. Tina, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. How can I help you today?
I put in for a free reading.
Yeah? Well, what kind of reading?
What
was that?
Just a general reading would be nice.
A general reading? Okay. All right. Let me see what comes up for you. Just give me a sec. Okay. Have you got a lot going on? I feel like you've got to balance things out, kind of like stand your ground, be patient. I feel like this may have to do around work. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I feel like you've got to be really patient. You're going to get like the recognition that you want. There is going to be a bit of a transition for you. There is a lot of like smoke and mirrors around you at the moment, but I feel like you're a little bit of a manifester. You know, like you can manifest things for your life, in your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm also being told there's been a bit of gossip around you, but I feel like justice is going to come, and these people, the truth's going to come out, and all this stuff is going to be revealed. I'm also being told to tell you that, you know, like you're the high priestess here, all right? Trust your intuition.
Yes.
Trust your gut feeling around people. There will be more clarity around you, like you'll get like new ideas for yourself, what you should do. Have you been having dreams where you're getting ideas or things are being shown to you?
Yeah, but I don't remember all my dreams.
Yeah, try me either. Try to write them down if you do. I'm also being shown to tell you to have things revealed in your dreams. All right, and for people to be revealed to you in your dreams, and to also ask Spirit for you to remember them, to assist you with that.
Yeah, I'm very gifted. I have a lot of gifts.
Yeah, I can
I'm on my spiritual journey as well.
Yeah, because I could see that, you know, like with the manifestation, and you're like the high priestess. All right. So, you know, take all those abilities that you've got and tune into them, develop them. All right. I'm also being told, I'm seeing money around you and around those abilities that you have. So I don't know if you're working in that field with, yeah, you are? Okay. You can develop this more, all right? You have got to let go of some fears that you're hanging on to and things that are holding you back around that. And I also see that there's a lot of people that are like gossiping about you, trying to hold you back, trying to make out like you, I don't know if you're aware of this, but trying to make out like you're not as good as you think you are. But Spirit is like, go back to basics, right? And look and see what you know, how you can improve it, like all your different clairs, how you can improve them, and still do what you're doing. But I keep go back to basics. I feel like there's something that you've missed that you need to develop more in your abilities. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, I was told that before, but I can't figure out what it is.
All right, let me see if I can get it for you from your guide, all right, from my guide. Just give me 1 sec. The first thing that comes to me is your clairaudience. Does that make sense for you?
Clairaudience, what is that one?
That is when you can hear spirit.
Yeah, I don't hear them. I get it through my gut.
Yeah, okay.
I just started getting voices now, Zach, lately.
Sorry, what was that, Tina?
Everything comes through like vibrations.
Yeah.
So I don't hear words.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's perfect. That's what you need to develop. Okay? You need to work on your clairaudience so you can hear spirit, so you can hear your messages, okay? Because you are more than capable. Okay. We don't have too much time, Tina, so just try to get some exercises around how to train you with your clairaudience, all right, and how to hear spirit, and work through that. That's where you're lacking, and you can get that for yourself. Okay, just practice.
Beautiful. That's what I want. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Tina. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You helped me a lot.
All right, that's great. Just keep going with everything. You can do it. All right?
Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Psychic Path on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome to June. How is everyone? I am Suzanne Marie, and I'm here to do some readings tonight. I'm a clairvoyant and a light trance medium, so I hope I get a really good call tonight. I hope that everyone is doing well and feeling loved and being cared about. I am here every Wednesday, and I can be reached at psychicpaths.com, like right there. And if you would like to be interested in a reading, just contact me through my website page or my Facebook page. I am so glad to be here tonight. I hope that everyone is doing well. We have Venus and Gemini, and that just means that there's going to be a lot of conversation going on and a lot of peace. And we will be getting through a lot of things that don't harmonize with us. Um, there'll be a lot of educational things. We'll be learning quite a lot in the next several weeks. But I really do love the conversation part. And we just have a whole lot of things going on. I think Jupiter and Gemini too. It's just been a wild ride for the astrology bit here, but it is Gemini season, and we will be talking about a full moon, but not tonight, because there's just so many things going on. We had a parade of planets that looked like they were aligned, but they really weren't. But it really did look like they were standing in a line. So I hope that some of you have gotten to see some of the planets and what they're doing. So yeah, I am in Minnesota, and I do virtual readings all over the world, and I'm told I'm really good at it. And so, yeah, if you're interested, let me know. So far, I told you all about the planets, but this Venus stuff is really nice. I think it's going to be really nice for us, all of us. There is a request that people have their minds open and not shut, so that we're capable of attaining new information as is coming through on this season, because some of us are really hard-headed and really bullheaded about keeping what we already know and not opening up to anything new. But Spirit is saying, please open up and allow the new information to come through. We can't change, and we can't move forward into becoming better us if we hold on to our old ideas and our old beliefs. We do need to constantly change those. So if you see something or learn something new, go ahead and change your mind. We have Rita in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Hello. Excuse me. Hi, how are you tonight?
Thank you. I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy it's summer. I know you feel the same in Canada.
Of course, yeah.
It's like it's about time.
It is more than about time.
I'm down here in Minnesota, and I'm like, what? It's there. It's it. What can I help with tonight?
Well, why don't you just tell me what you are getting from, I don't know, or do I have to give you a question?
If you could, because we only got a short little time with me. I don't have a half an hour.
Okay. I am having some issues with my my siblings, and it's over my parents' property, and I'm no longer speaking to them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what I can pick up
Please.
From Spirit.
Thank you.
Did you lose your mother within the last 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she loud? Is she pretty determined to have her thoughts known? Because that's the feeling I'm getting from the other side, that somebody really, really wants to say what they need to say.
She's not a loud person, but probably want to get her message through. It's my father that's probably the loudest.
I'm really feeling like, well, for one thing, I don't know how to describe her. I know she's got a whitish gray hair, and I feel like she's kind of wide. She's not a skinny mini little thing. But I think she's short. I feel like she's shorter. Am I making any sense? I hope so.
She's tiny, but she's tiny kind of everywhere.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. What she's really disliking is seeing all the siblings not getting along. That's the biggest thing that she's saying. Do you have a brother?
I do.
I feel like that there's a brother.
Yes.
I feel like this could go on for a very long time. So, and I don't think your mother is saying stop and don't, get what you need or get what everybody needs. I think what she's saying is it's going to be a while, and she doesn't like it. She really doesn't like it.
Trying, the house is up for sale right now.
Okay. She's really upset. Let me see what else Spirit says. So this brother of yours is not going to let go. Yeah, I feel like he's focused on something, and it's like a dog with a bone. He's not going to give up. And I see another sibling. I think you said 3, and I see 3. I see 2 more. But one is not a fighter. One is not fighting as much. I do believe that would be the most significant one would be your brother.
So I'm the middle, and I have a younger sister. And yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like it's more her, but she's, has said some very
is it like manipulation? Is she manipulating?
Accusation. A little bit, obviously a little bit, but I think more for me, she's always been a bit of a manipulator, and we've always kind of lived with it. But now there's
this
fighting over accusations of stealing and so on, and
what I want you to do is I want you to know that the arguing and everything going on is not what your mother wants. But she does seem to accept the fact that it's going to be going on for a little while. What she's trying to tell me is not to take it personally, that nothing is personal with this. She really doesn't mind anything about the house at the moment. I feel like she's just kind of let go of all the things that were, and she's really okay now, but she's not thinking about the house. I want you to know that too, because the minute that people pass away, they no longer care about the house or the car or the money or the bank account. They're more onto, spiritual things. But she does say that it's going to go on for a while, and not to take it personal. She don't want you hurt. She don't want you hurt.
Yeah.
And so I would say, from my side, I would say don't give as good as they give. Don't try to equal the energy that they're giving. Don't try to go on the ride that they're going on. Really just try to stay with your seatbelt on and focused on what's really important. And what really is important is that you're okay, that you get what you need, and all of this emotional stuff just gets depersonalized for you, that you don't feel like hurt every time this comes up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's affecting my health too.
It is affecting your health, and I just want you to be able to step emotionally back and say, this is the stuff that people put up with when people pass away, but it's not personal. Don't carry it. I feel like you're just a very sensitive person in general, and this is hurting you. So I think me and your mother would like to say not to take it personally. You're more important than any house or anything that they have to say to hurt you. And it will be a while. This will be going on for a little while. So try to take care of yourself and try to be gentle with yourself.
Thank you.
You promise? I want you to promise me.
I'm trying. That's why I just don't speak to anyone, because it just makes it easier. Because then you're not creating any time for any more accusations or arguing.
Right. Do whatever it takes to take care of you and be gentle with yourself, and don't allow people to hurt your feelings. You're worth more than that, okay?
Do you see that house selling?
Yes, I do, and that's a very good idea. I feel like it will be divided equally.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeagerwalker. Julie Yeagerwalker, live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening. Welcome to the middle of March. I can't believe that we are already into spring. Technically not spring for another week or so, but it feels like it here in the Pacific Northwest. We've had a lot of sun, and, even me, I'm feeling spring fever when we get days like this where there's 2, 3, 4 days in a row with sun. It's like, oh, you get all excited, and then boom, the rain hits the week after, and it's back to cold, wet, sometimes gloomy weather. But right now, I'm going to take it because I really can use a dose of sunshine right now. And it's really funny. There are people, and they're like, yep, I'm taking today and tomorrow off. I'm making a long weekend because it's sunny. So everybody's headed to the beach, right? When it's sunny here in the Pacific Northwest, everybody heads to the beach. Everyone heads to the ocean. So, which I would love to do myself, but I know that everybody else is going to be there. So I'm going to wait one more week, or maybe a couple of weeks before I do that. So I hope that you are doing well this evening, and thank you so much for joining the show. I want to talk to you about being in awareness of the signs of spirit and loved ones and angels and guides, and being in that awareness. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, sure, I'm in awareness, but how do I become even more aware of my surroundings so that I can see the messages more clearly? So something that you can do, number one, as I've said in the past, it's about slowing down, right? Clearing your mind, quieting your mind to be able to recognize those messages, because our brains are processing and computing so quickly on a daily basis. And that, as technology evolves, we are more and more functioning at a very high level. And, our brains are moving constantly. They're not shutting off. And we are trying to do everything at the speed of sound and speed of light. So everything is just faster. So it's a matter of slowing down and just taking a breath. So some good exercises that you can do to kind of bring you into that awareness and being more aware of your surroundings is really important. And so these are just a couple of techniques that you can do to kind of slow your mind a little bit, right? So if after dinner you're at the sink and you're washing dishes, right? Just completely bring your focus into washing dishes, right? How hot is the water? What does the sponge or the wash rag that you're using on your dishes, what does it feel like against your hands, against your skin? How does the soap feel, right? How does the glass feel against your skin, right? What does it smell like? What does your dish soap smell like? What's the sound of the water, rushing over the glasses as you are rinsing them and putting them in the dish drainer? So a lot of these things are just slowing your brain down and bringing you into that focus, right? Another thing is books. I do like to read. I just haven't been able to switch over to, a Kindle or my phone or something like that. I've got to feel the pages of the book, the weight of the book. So if you are one of those that loves to read, concentrate on that. What does that book feel like in your hands? Is it light? Is it heavy? What do the pages feel like? Are the pages of the book very thin? The paper very thin? Or is it a thick type of paper? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Does the book have a smell, right? Do the pages have a smell? And, what does it sound like when you turn the page in the book? So it's about bringing all of your senses, all of your awareness to that, right? Now, if you want to get even more involved and bring in the tasting aspect of it, right? As you're cooking food or you're baking your favorite cookies, right? What are the smells? What are the sounds? What does it taste like? And as you begin to develop a lot of these senses and really put those senses out there, making them very, very useful, then it opens things up to more, right? Maybe you will catch the whiff of a certain perfume and you think, wow, that was a perfume that smells like a perfume my mom used to wear, right? Or if you taste something, wow, this brings me back to when I'm sitting in Aunt Sarah's kitchen and we're having a conversation because she always served this when we were having those conversations, right? So it's those types of things. It's really bringing in your senses to be on alert so that you can be in that awareness to hearing and seeing what your loved ones are bringing through. The questions that you're asking, right? They're coming through. And so a lot of our senses are based on, we have a lot of the heightened senses. So probably the hearing and the sight are probably our most highly used senses, right? Then comes taste and hearing and smelling, right? But you always have a couple that rise to the top. So those are great, but try using the other senses that you don't utilize as much, right? And each one of us, it's different. So as you become more and more in awareness of those senses and being in awareness of what is directly in front of you at the moment, then you can start diving in. And then you can start bringing in more and more awareness, and you can train yourself, train your brain to slow down and notice those awarenesses. And then that's when the messages really start coming through. So try it. They're really fantastic exercises to do, and it calms the brain down a little bit, almost into a meditative type of state, where you can relax the body, relax the mind, and then more information will come in. Maybe that question that you were trying to figure out all day at work today, and you just couldn't figure out what it is. When you're doing something like that, those are the times that it comes into play. How many of you have gone out to walk the dog and you're out in nature and all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, I know how to solve that problem. It's taken me 2 weeks to figure out how to solve that problem. It's the same thing. It's about slowing your mind down so that the answers can come in and that you can be shown what those answers are. So use some of these techniques. They might be a little cumbersome at first because it's not probably in the norm for you to slow down enough to do some of these things, to really recognize these things. So be patient with yourself as you're doing these, because it will become easier and easier. And as you start to slow your brain down, like I said, it's like a meditative state. And then you can be more calm during your days and you'll sleep better. So try some of these techniques and see how they work for you, and then see if more messages come in for you or more answers that you've been searching for, because I bet they will. All right, perfect. We are going to head to the phone lines right now. We have a caller waiting. We have Rachel in East Peoria, Illinois. Good evening, Rachel, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi, thank you.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What can I do for you this evening?
I'm just, I guess I've reached a lot of goals that I put for myself, and I'm trying to figure out what the next step is, because I want to keep challenging myself and making goals and hitting them. Kind of considering starting a business. I'm a little scared.
Yeah, starting a business, that's a big thing, right? That can be a big scary thing for a lot of us is just making that decision, right? Can be the first step. And that's sometimes the biggest hurdle is just to make the decision to do it. So would you like to see what is a next step for your business, or you're just wanting to look at what your next step is in general?
In general.
Okay. Let me just take a moment here to tune in and see what I come up with, and then check in with your loved ones, and then I will be right back with you. So there's just going to be a little moment of silence as I do that, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Rachel. So what Spirit is showing me right now is that it's very clear. Like they showed me your check off list, right? And it's like check, 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 check. You've been very, very diligent in your processes to get things done. And not only just to get things done, but it's the priorities in your life to move you forward and to move you ahead. And so what they're showing me right now is that because you've done all these checks and balances, is what they're saying, it is like the next step is to take a look at starting a business. What they're showing me is that you need to sit down and kind of like make a platform for this and make an outline of what it is what that looks like for you, right? What that business piece of it looks like for you. They're showing me that you have a couple of things that you're looking at, but it's almost like you're kind of going back and forth a little bit. Well, is it this one for me or is that for me? So now that you have all these things that you've kind of finished, you can really sit down and really focus in on what it is that you would like to accomplish, right? The biggest thing they're showing me is if you're looking at starting a business is like the outcome, right? What is your outcome for that business? What do you want to see it do? Not only for your customers, but for you, because you have to be that forefront person, because there's got to be, they're showing me it's got to be more than just being able to be in service to a customer. You have to be able to be in service to yourself. Does that make sense?
I have a good career now. I make good money, but my desire to be my own boss, at my own hours, live life on my terms, kind of thing, is where I'm at now. I'm older. I've been punching a time clock for years, and I just feel like I need a little bit more freedom in my life.
Perfect. There you go. That's exactly it, right? It's about being in service to yourself, and those are the types of things that that they're pointing out and they're showing you. Yes, you have to do all those things to kind of put yourself first. And it's interesting because when people think about starting a business, they're outside of themselves, right? And sometimes you have to look within yourself and say, well, what is it that I need out of this business as well? Because that's equally as important as what's outside. so they're showing me kind of that you're going back and forth between a couple scenarios and a couple thoughts for a business. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I am just, I mean, there's one main thing, and then there's a couple of things that I could add into there, and I'm not sure how to fit that all together.
Okay. What I keep hearing is keep it simple.
Okay.
So right now, keep it simple. Get something going and get it off the ground, and then start bringing in, other options. If what you are trying to bring in right now seems to be a struggle, like you can't quite make the puzzle piece work, it's because it's not the right time to do that.
Okay.
So they're basically saying, yes, those things are great and they will come, but they're saying to get started, don't make it too complicated for yourself. Just start with what you know and what you do best, right? Because out of that will come other things. You will run into a client and they're like, wow, I wish you offered this, or have you thought about that? Or did you know I went to someone who did something similar and they did this, right? And you're gonna automatically just draw off of these things, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what I need to do, right? It's gonna come really easily. So they're saying don't try to fit. They're saying don't try to fit a round peg in a square hole.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what you're trying to do right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Exciting stuff.
Right. I've just been kind of on the fence about it, and I've got to sit down and put all my thoughts together. Just like you said, I got to get me an outline going.
Yes. Yeah. What they're showing me, the biggest thing for you is to be number one. They're saying be truthful to yourself when you're doing the outline, right? Be really honest with yourself about what this looks like. They're saying that you're an amazing manifester and you can make just about anything happen, right? So make sure that when you're doing this, that it really is what you want it to be.
Okay.
Because you may manifest something and you think, oh, I really didn't want that. Because we can manifest the good stuff and the bad stuff. So.
Right. But, with the business, not only is it for me, I want to offer services that are going to help people and, be healthy for them, healthier options than what's out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the whole reason why you want to do this, right? And I know they're showing me to focus on you a lot, but yes, of course, the whole reason you're doing this, right, is to help others, obviously. But they're really encouraging you to not forget about yourself in the process.
Yes.
And
it's all tied together.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're saying that whatever you do, make sure you walk the walk and talk the talk, right? Be that authentic person, right?
Yes, I get that because I slack myself with, the healthy habits.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, that is fantastic. The best of luck to you, Rachel. I know you're going to do great.
Well, thank you so much for everything.
You're so welcome. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next, we have Cheyenne. Oh, Cheyenne. I'm so sorry. I said that wrong. Cheyenne in Omaha, Nebraska. Hello, Cheyenne. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
What kind of readings do you do?
I do. I bring through loved ones and spirits and guides. Just whatever questions you have, or if you want just a general reading about something, I can do that too.
Whatever I need to hear right now, or if you can bring through any of my loved ones. So.
Okay. So let's see what they have for you this evening. I'm just going to take a minute here to tune in, and then there'll be a little moment of silence, and then I'll be right back, okay? Cheyenne, I'm seeing a lot of celebrating on the other side. They're celebrating you and some big accomplishments. They're wanting you to know that they're so proud of you. But I just keep seeing like all these balloons going up and dancing, and a lot of praise, a lot of, great job. You did a good job. A lot of hard work put in. So that's one of the first things that they want you to know.
Thank you.
What are we celebrating? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I mean, I had a hard time a couple years ago that I made it through, I guess, but
good. Okay.
That's a little more on
All right.
the personal side of things. So
Yeah. So yeah, they're celebrating. They want you to recognize the celebration as well, right? They're showing me that a lot of times you get through this and you're like, oh gosh, okay, I got through that. But you don't really take the time to say, wow, and reflect on it and say, wow, look at what I did, right? I think that can be for a lot of people, but in particularly you. It's like, you're like, okay, well, that's great. Now I'm on to the next thing, right? I'm on to the next problem. I'm on to the next great adventure, whatever that is. And they're asking you to slow down and really, really take stock and take a look at what you've accomplished, because you have done some really great and amazing things. And you don't give yourself enough credit for that. So they're saying, hey, take a minute. Let's celebrate, right? They're even showing me like, go out and have a fantastic dessert, right? And say, wow, I deserve this because look at what I did, right? So just something to commemorate all the successes that you've had. They're showing me that they're little successes. And so in your book, they don't really add up. They don't even really count as a success, right?
Right.
You're like, oh, okay, yeah, right, whatever, that happened, right? But they're saying, no, stop, recognize it, and say, wow, okay, yep, it was a little one, but boy, it was a success, right? And add that to your little list of successes. And then at the next one, go, yep, that's it. Because they're saying all these little successes are little bitty steps forward, right? And sometimes you don't recognize them unless you are leaping like a frog forward. Like they're literally showing me this frog leaping forward.
I feel like I'm waiting for that leap.
Yes, exactly. And so they're saying, don't measure life on those leaps. Measure your life on the baby steps, because those are the important ones. And the reason they're important is because you took the step, right? It is about taking that first step and saying, yep, okay, here we go. I'm going to do this. So it's about taking those steps. And and then recognizing them.
Yeah, I know I'm needing a change in the job, career field. So if there's anything that comes through on that.
So what I'm getting on that is it's about, again, taking that step, taking that first step. Because I'm seeing some hesitation. They're showing me that you're hesitating and you're not really sure about that. So they're saying that you can do
schedule conflict.
Yeah, they're saying you can do that, right? But it's a matter of sitting down and getting clear with yourself and saying, is this really right for me? Right? And having those hard conversations with yourself and feeling into it and saying, okay, if I were to take this new position, if I were to change course and do something completely different, how am I going to feel in a year? Right? You're going to get a sense. It's like your soul is going to tell you, right? And if it feels really good, if you get this tingling feeling, you get this light feeling, you think, ooh, that sounds kind of nice, then make the step forward and take the step and move towards that goal. Does that make sense?
It does. I just have no idea what I want to do yet. So.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying they're saying to sit down and kind of write some things out, or what would it be if you could do anything in the world? If you could do anything or be anything, what would that be? Right? And write things down that come to mind. And then go back and analyze them later and see which ones still stick. Okay? That's what they're showing me for steps for you. So, and Cheyenne, we're coming down to the last couple seconds of our show, so I'm going to have to say goodnight. And I want to say thank you so much for calling in and hope that this has been helpful for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that does it for me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead. If you would like to have a one-on-one session with me, either healing or a reading, please reach out to me on my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Wow, maybe I'll be changing my name. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDSPsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Reading with Lady D. I'm your host for this segment, Lady D. I hope you've all had an amazing week ahead. So I know this week has been a bit frustrating for people with things not going correctly, and there's been frustrations on the planets that we had, or these different squares that we had. But the good news is they are going to be ending this week. So from the 17th onwards, things should be looking better for this week coming up. So we still do have that up until the 17th. We still have the square with Mercury and Venus with Saturn. And we still got the whole week, we still will have the square with Mercury and Venus with Neptune, and also the one with Mars and Pluto. But from the 17th, I said the main one, the Pluto, Venus and Mercury will end with Saturn there. So that will be an end to sort of problems with communication or with relationships or even financial stuff there. We've also got coming up on the 17th, we've got a sextile that's happening also with Venus and Mars. And then also too, coming up later in the week, Mercury will also join that sextile to Mars. So with that, that's going to bring up be more motivated with relationships or communication, and it'll probably give you more of a courage, more strength here. But I feel like it's going to be about sorting out things and getting things clearing the air. I feel like with that energy that's going to come up, and so things moving more seamlessly and plans working through a bit better as well. I feel like that's when it'd be a good time if you needed to sign a contract. That would be coming up too. Before then, like especially like over the weekends with these squares, we're not a good time to sign contracts. We have some more frustrations and more things coming up with communication. But when it ends off on the Monday, it should be a lot better. We've also got a conjunction with Mercury and the Sun on that's going to be on the 14th. So that day is going to be your mind's going to be overloaded in what's happening around you. Also, I feel like maybe more talkative than usual, but it is going to be in Gemini, so it'd be very talkative, and a lot of like stuff going on in your head. Then we've also got a conjunction on the 17th, so Monday with Venus and Mercury, and that's going to be probably where you're thinking, because Mercury is about communication in the mind, Venus is love, it's finances too. So that's probably going to be thinking about certain finances, certain these relationships, getting all those, again, sorting out any issues with relationships that's coming up. It's a good day for that. You might hear some news from someone that you least expect, or there could be, if you're waiting to hear from someone, you might hear from them that day. And then on the 18th, these two planets are going to move together into Cancer, which is more about feeling, I feel like there's more aspects about home. Very globally, but we might see some things happen to do with like housing markets around the world, whether it be positive or more communications about how to maybe about the markets and where they're going, where it's sitting, how that can change. And then we've got the sextile with Mars I spoke about. So it is going to be a different week coming up. I feel like it's more relaxed coming up after Monday. I do feel like that people are going to feel like quite pleased themselves about enjoying life. I feel like this week also is going to be about looking at life lessons that's coming up too. People feeling more happy within themselves. And I feel like people are having that realization about things happening for a reason too that's coming up. So let's go to the caller. So we have Evelyn here who's from California. So hi, Evelyn. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for taking my call, Daniela.
That's okay. How can I help you?
I was recently, I was in a 2.5 year relationship, and it recently ended, and that left me perplexed, confused. But what I really want to know is, in the future, if I'm going to be in a romantic and loving relationship that's going to lead to marriage and children. I feel like a time restraint. I'm 41. I'm not a mother yet, so that's always in the back of my mind.
Okay. All right. So for you, I get one child for you. So I do feel like there is children for you, but I get one. So I do feel like there is you are going to be a mum. I also see a cat around you. Do you have a cat?
I don't.
Okay. I do see, I don't know, I see a cat. So I feel like maybe you might be getting a cat or, yeah, I just see a cat around you. So I just feel like there could be a sense of getting a cat. But I do get one baby, one child. I feel like there hasn't been, I don't feel like you're making mistakes here. I just feel like it's just life is where I feel like is where you're at. And I feel like I feel like there's also some nervous energy around you as well. Maybe you're feeling quite nervous and quite tense. And I just feel like things around you are feeling very unstable at the moment too. I feel like you've had a lot of life lessons, but also are you looking in the sort of the wrong places? I don't feel like meeting someone online works out for you. I just feel like online is not as positive. I feel like when you're going to meet someone, you are meeting them face to face. I do see you meeting someone, and I see them as being quite broad shoulders. They're wearing a football jersey, so I do feel like maybe they're a fan of football. I think they're quite broad, or maybe they even play. I get that they're light coloured hair that's quite short, like short light coloured hair. I feel like they're very confident in themselves, this person, and very meeting them. I feel like you're meeting them. I feel like you're like a group of people you are meeting. I feel like you are out. I feel like you are taken back. I feel like this person can be also quite charming too. Even though I see them having a bit of an ego, but I feel like at the same time they can be quite modest as well. And I do feel like they can be quite charming too. I feel like, I know I hear like the videos at the ticking clock, but I just feel like by November, which could be by November next year or this year, I kind of feel it first next year, but I feel like by November, it's about November, this year or next year, you're feeling more confident in yourself too. But it's also, I feel like at the moment, yourself doing a lot of self-reflecting too. You're living in California, but are you living in somewhere like a small unit or a small house?
It's a small town.
Okay,
my house is about 1,500 square feet. It's not too small. It's not too big.
Okay. Just feel like small place. And I just feel like where you're living, it's like a hustle, like busy area. Or whether you meet this person when you're going to be in a busy town. I just kind of feel like I'm in the city area, and I do feel like city as well too. I just feel like by November, perhaps when you meet this person, whether it be November this year or next year, when will she have children? Look, I'm going to say by 43, there's a baby by 43. I'm going to say for you, I feel like you're going to be very happy. You are very successful as well. You're not the problem here. I feel like you're blaming yourself, and you're not the problem. I feel like you've picked the wrong people. It's just like we all have experienced different lives, and you just got to take it as experiences and life lessons. But I feel like that when you do meet someone, I do feel like things will happen quite fast, but you're also trying to think, you wanted to take this slowly, but it's fast, but you're also thinking things through, and you're trying to, I guess, rationalize everything, but also know what's meant to be. I feel like you might be moving. I just feel like there could be a sense of you of moving, like relocating or moving somewhere as well. it could be moving out of California. I don't know. I just get like, I keep on seeing you like in a city, like a city area. It's like a busy area. I also want to say, I'm not a doctor. I say I'm not a doctor, but I also feel like there could be issues with like stomach issues too for you as well. Yeah, I do see love for you. It's just been delayed. It's just a delay here. I just feel like there's a delay. But I mean, the love card has come out here. So I do feel like that. And I keep on hearing November. So I do feel like if it's not this November, it's next November for you. But I do feel like by 43, there's a baby for you by 43. I do feel like you're going to be living in a 3-bedroom house. I get for you. I feel like this person that you meet, they will have, like they're a good person, and I feel like that they do things well, and I do feel like that they're a really good person. I feel like they're quite genuine. But when they're with friends or they go out to drink, I feel like that's when maybe ego takes place and they have a bit of an ego about them. But I do feel like they can, at the same time though, they can be quite humble too. And I keep on getting quite charming as well. And I do feel like they have like a decent job too.
So this person has it all together. That's great. Do they have children, or because I don't have any children? Is the person that is
I do get 2 children. I feel like they could have 2 children. So I do feel like there could be 2 children for this person that they've got. And they're happy to have one with you, but I do feel like they may have 2 children. I kind of feel like you go, and I do see a travel with you as well, but it's as a beach location. I do feel like kind of like Bahamas. It could be like a cruise that you're doing, but I do get like beach, but I kind of feel like Bahamas kind of vibe that you're going to. So I do get that as well for you.
Oh, funny you mentioned that. I've been thinking about going somewhere tropical, and the Bahamas is different. For either Bahamas or Florida or Greece. Greece is not tropical, but those are places of considering.
Yeah, I felt Bahamas. But thank you for calling in today.
Thank you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. You have a blessed day.
Okay. You too.
Thank you.
So if you'd like to contact me, you can. My Facebook page is Lady D Psychic Parties, the same as my website. And my Instagram is Lady D Psychic. And my TikTok is Lady D Psychic. My YouTube channel is Lady D, or if you can't find underneath that, you just look up Danielle Psychic. And I hope you all have an amazing week, and I'll see you same time, same place next week. So, bye everybody.
I have a bit of a cold.